what struck me about it was the way you put the song together was a lot of like the way they do the Ratchet song, but yet you changed the lyrics. Was that an intention? Did you intend to? Okay.
So it's basically putting in our type of content and still relate the message to everyone, because they like stuff like that, so that's going to get their attention, which it did. It got everybody's attention, putting it in that form.
Got you.
You still get the message, y'all.
That was strategic. That was definitely strategic. Well, I'm sitting here with some of the other generals. Generals, y'all have any questions for China Monet?
I wouldn't mind.
Please, General, please.
Hey, Shalom.
What's going on? Shalom. What's going on?
Most High in Christ. Sister, let me ask you a question, if I could, right?
Yes.
The backlash from women that don't like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you expecting that to be as big as it was?
Yes. I was prepared for it.
Now does that mean that in your life, even before you made the song, when you talk to women, the women that you know in your life, the friends, your family, do you know women that have always told you that it's wrong to be a woman that's willing to please a man? Do they look down on women like that?
I would say I was raised, because my mom was kind of raised us to be strong, independent Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Not more so saying like, don't let your man lead or whatever, but she just, I guess, taught us what she knew, and that was just survival, I guess. But it's like, to me, my mom, she always catered to her. My mom been married 5 times. She always catered to her husband, so I always see that she nurtures them. And she's sometimes, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. She's married 5 times because she don't listen.
Give her a listen. That was honest.
Because she don't listen.
She don't listen.
Yeah, I would say, because my mom and grandmother as well, they always, because I was so headstrong and I was so independent and I didn't need a man and I can get my own things, I can do my own, I can get my own money, and that's how I used to think. But I came into reality because I dated this guy who actually converts me into being a more submissive woman, or one that listens to her man, and you know what I'm saying? So like, once I did that, I seen the relationship got stronger, everything was better. Like, everything got better when I started listening and let him lead.
Come on, give her a hand. There you go, sis.
Wow.
If I could, sir, one more question, if I could. Well, just so you know, sis, Most High in Christ, just so you know, there are so many men, especially men in the Israelite school of UPK under Commanding General YAHANNA. We appreciate a sister like you that was willing to say what you said, and it's a breath of fresh air. And I pray you all the success in the world, okay?
Yes, I'm praying that, it helps create more wives and baby mamas.
That's right.
Actually bring the home together instead of separating.
More families. Right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Damn right,
Great,
sis.
great
That's
job, sis. And I don't know if the brothers have already talked to you, but I heard that the brothers were hoping to get together with you about performing at one of our events.
Oh, wow. Where at?
Oh, we're having an enormous event in North Carolina, in Durham, North Carolina, in April. It's going to be upwards of about, a lot of people. Huge. This is our annual Passover event. And we have people will be coming in from all over the world, from England, from the Caribbean.
England?
Yeah, from performing. We have 9 artists already lined up, 9 rappers already lined up. Bringing you in would just make it much, together. You know what I mean? It would be a great event. So I'm gonna have the brothers get in touch with you and see if we could put that together. A captain in our school, Captain Akkad Abraham, created what we call the Black Party. We have it every year. We all dressed in black, and we come in and really, we would love to have you as a part of it. And I'm sure he would love to see you perform. You know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely can do that. All right, we can definitely get that going. So, any other questions? Y'all ain't shy now. Shy Monet got y'all shy up in here.
No.
I'm so proud of it. Dude. We thought outside of our ranks, you didn't exist.
You know, man. So that's absolutely wonderful, sis. I appreciate you coming on again. You know, a lot of people didn't understand it. From the moment I saw the song, I knew that you had touched a nerve in our community.
I touched a major nerve in the community. Like, it is going crazy. Like, the numbers, like, it's so many men that's praising that record right now. It's they like, y'all don't even know, you don't even realize what you did.
Wow, you knew the effect it was gonna have.
It's kind of like some revolution thing. It's like, changing the game finally. And I created my own lane, so like I'm the only female rapper that actually took the courage to step out and go against the women. Not even more so go against them, but I look at, which they call me a picky, which I look at it as a female woman that looks at masculinity in a positive way. Versus always speaking about the negative about a man.
That's right. And if I could just add one last thing to your courage, it was very courageous of you. And we are very proud of you for that courage, because that courage came at a time when they were pushing the ratchetness to the level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Everything was right on time.
Right. Oh, I see you planned that. She plotted it out on them. That's right. That's right. And it shook them in the way that it should.
And if I could say one more thing, sir, and what was so beautiful also tonight, sir, is that she gave credit to that man who taught her how to be this way.
Yes, she did.
And just let him know that we appreciate him as well.
That's right.
Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shim Yashai Brakatham. Yahweh Shema Taba Shim Yashai. All right. How y'all doing?
All
right. I trying to deal with the class a little bit earlier, right? So we could tune into Captain Zaria kind of on his debate he's gonna have. All right. So we'll run it until he starts, okay? Who's in the Durham school there? Maya Shah?
Officer Dabwana, I'm still here at the moment, sir.
Okay. Just have somebody just keep an eye on I think Captain Zariak running on his podcast. Just keep an eye on his podcast.
Concert.
So we'll just share it once it starts.
Concert.
So like yes, sir. You want to restream it?
Yeah.
I don't want concert.
Yeah. Not so much restream it, but stream it live too on your station if you want.
Yeah, kind of want concert.
I don't know if that is what it meant by restream. All right. Now, all right. Any questions? Because I have some things to get into. All right. If not, let's get straight into it. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Come on.
I believe Officer Maya Shaw had a question.
Come on, Maya Shaw. I think the mic not working.
Is it? Yeah, you might need a different mic. So he's turning the other one on now. Nothing. No, just use this one real quick. Okay, Slack, sir. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you and see you. Come on.
Come on, sir. I just wonder, like, say you got a slavery that pay you under the table, like, you still have to pay taxes at the end of the year, even though, like, I mean, does it go along with the give Caesar, his due, like give unto Caesar, like having a slave that pays you on the table, you don't have to pay taxes. Do you still need to make sure you give Caesar his due or the government?
Okay. it all okay. Are you getting a W-2 from your worker, from this worker?
Well, lie. No, lie,
Then-
sir. Like you
Then
basically
just make sure I'm pay your
Oh, go
tithes. You know what I mean? Let's make sure I'm paying tithes.
Come on,
per
come on.
month.
Damn right.
Alright.
Damn right.
Alright.
Come on,
But if you know, okay. That's something you gotta call me and explain to me everything about separately from here.
Okay,
Right?
come on, sir.
I just get more into it.
Okay, come on, sir. Yeah, I just know, like, you know, there are people who have slaves that pay under the table and they have no income tax on it. So
Yeah.
that'd be breaking the law of, you know, what Christ said to give unto Caesar.
Yeah. And you may have to, you know what I mean? We'll talk about it. All
Come
right?
on, sir. That was it, sir.
Okay. Any more? All right. All right. Let's go. Let's deal with something here. I'm gonna share my screen, right? Somebody just read it for me, right? All right. Are we gonna look into freedom, right? Peace and justice, but I'll more stay on the freedom side of things. All right. Let's see. All right. I want to read it there for me. Do I need to make it bigger? Or that's big enough? That's big enough? Somebody can read it for me? Who can read it?
Got one cancer.
Go ahead.
This says the secret meaning of freedom, peace, and justice.
Right? It's secret meaning, right? And we're talking about the so-called oppressor and how he looks at it. All right. Now, we definitely have to do what? Go into the Bible and see what these things mean. Because we might get caught up in this whole politics, in his way of life, right? Which we do not want to. Right? So read on.
Can. And let us bathe our hands in blood up to the elbow and besmear our swords. Then we walk forth even to the marketplace and waving our red weapons or our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
I said this is who? This is a play, Shakespeare, right?
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. All right, he's just quoting this. Now read the next paragraph there.
Can one cancer. But what about freedom, justice, and equality?
I say it's a question this so-called oppressor asking. All right, what about freedom, justice, and equality? Right? What did the Christian church tell us about freedom, justice, and equality?
That everybody is equal, sir.
That everybody is equal and that we all what?
Everybody.
So
Come on.
that God loves everybody.
And what again?
That everybody's equal in the eyes of God.
Yes. Right? And they try to push this whole what? We all what? Equal. Because why? Now we could all do what? We all could what? Vote. Right? We all could have a so-called job in their eyes. You understand? We could run for political office now. All right? We could all do these things. You know what I mean? Things that so-called oppressors did back in the 50s, we can all now do. Right? But read on.
Can one cancer. Isn't the goal to put all nations on an equal footing?
Right. Now, when it comes to the Bible, does the Bible puts all nations on equal footing?
La sir.
It does not, right? Even from the beginning, it does not, right? Ashka, go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Which is your money 28 and 15.
One cancer.
Now read. No, hold where you at right there, Ashka. 28 and 15. Read on KR1.
Can one cancer? Isn't that what peace should be about?
Mm-hmm.
And
Read on.
equality, and equality of nations will never exist in our lifetime.
What did he say?
And equality of nations will never exist in our lifetime.
It will never exist in our lifetime. Equality of nations will never exist. So why it is we keep on going to church and hearing that we all equal? You understand? Why it is we always going to church and hearing that we're supposed to love everybody? You understand? You want to love everybody, and the person next to you in church, you're bad talking, you're gossiping about. You understand? The person next who's in church next to you owe you some money, and you want to, harm him because he owes you some money. Right? Which shows you clearly and what the church is really all about. That whole we all have to love each other is really about loving who? What's that love each other about?
Loving yourself.
Not so much yourself.
So that is
loving the oppressor.
It's loving the oppressor.
Yes. Because why? Why is it about loving the oppressor? Hold on. Maisha, why is it about loving the oppressor?
So like it, sir, so that he keep you oppressed.
Yeah, but what in the Christian church makes it about loving the oppressor?
Oh, slack is sir, white Jesus.
That's it. You understand? That's why that debate Captain Zarek is having is very important. Debate that we need to have, a discussion we need to have. You understand? Should white people kiss our boots? You understand? It's unlocking that mental chain, that mentality black people have when it comes to the so-called oppressor. You understand? You know what I mean? You ever walk into a Christian church and see a Serge Bourget on the front, on the ground? No. Where does Serge Bourget be? He be what? He be what? He be in front, right behind the pastor.
Right.
Or he be on the cross, right in the middle of the pulpit. You understand? That's for a reason, right? They like to say color is not in the Bible. Then why did they paint Christ, so-called Christ white? Why is the depiction of Christ white in the Christian church? And then when you try to take it away, they say, well, you know what I mean, it is not about color. But before it was, but now it's not about color. You understand? No, what's his name? Ashka. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 50. The author is right to say that what? That an equality of nation will what? Never exist in our lifetime. Right. He's right to say it. Right? So read that now.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right? No, where you at? Read that one more time.
From the top, sir?
Yeah, 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Skip me up to 1.
Go sir.
Skip me up to verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and to observe and to do all his commandments.
Right, to observe and do what? All his commandments.
Right,
read on.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That God was going to do what?
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That's not equality. You understand? Equality will never exist. What Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians have fallen victim to is the smooth words of the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? His smooth words. Words like equality, words like freedom, justice, and peace, we have fallen victim to. All right? And we're going to see. Let me see. Let me get back to this right here. Okay, go ahead and read on.
Got one cancer. Why? Because peace, freedom, and justice are deceptive concepts.
What?
Because peace, freedom, and justice are deceptive concepts.
They are deceptive concepts.
Right.
Right? It's so deceptive, right? It's so deceptive that we're still fighting for what? Peace, justice, and what? Freedom.
Right.
We still all the way in it. Somehow we think we're free. Because now we could go, you know what I mean, put ink on we finger in the ballot. You understand? We think that we at peace right now, when majority of our people are living where? In the ghettos.
That's right.
You understand? Like, how could you say there's peace when brothers are being locked up? They're in prison, over 2-point-something million brothers in prison right now. Now, we ain't numbering the sisters as yet. We ain't numbering the Hispanics, and we're not numbering the Native Indians as yet. You understand?
That's right.
Like that ain't peace. Like right now, we are technically at war. You understand? With the so-called oppressor, the way he's treating us. You understand? The way the police force is treating us. Right? You telling me they are crossing the Middle East, fighting the so-called Arabs and them. And not one Arab across here they were mistake and unalive. Not one.
Good night.
You understand?
Come on.
But we the ones that been unalive almost every day. There's always some type of unaliving by the cops or by some plain clothes oppressor that come across the news. You understand? And that's because we are not at peace. And do Black people know what justice is? We don't understand. Those words are so deceptive. We don't even understand what justice is.
That's right.
We think we're going to get justice from a man who has not even given us justice for slavery. How that is going to happen? How that is going to even come about? Right?
Come on.
Read on Cat 1.
Got one cancer. Hidden beneath their surface are the instincts of pecking order.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's like you said.
Uh-huh.
So like it means basically, you know, the promotion of the ideas of peace, freedom, and justice as deceptive concepts. The whole point of their deception is to hide that underneath them, you know, is the reality of natural, you know, of like order, of that things are not equal. You know, there's a hierarchy. Excuse me. There's a hierarchy that is being that's going to come about regardless, but it's just hidden because people want to, you know, so they can be on top. They're going to tell you about peace and freedom and so on to hide their intention to be on the top of that hierarchy.
That's it. You understand? That is it in a nutshell right there for you. It's you know, it's like it's like a lion letting a bear or a hyena eat everything in his territory and tell him, you know what I mean, you're gonna be okay with this one gazelle. You understand? No, that lion is going to do what? He's going to fight for his what? For his territory. You understand? He is going to fight because that's instinct. You understand? And the Lord calls these other nations by what? What did the Lord look at these nations as being?
Salaki, sir?
Uh-huh.
Beasts.
Yes, as beasts. He look at them as being beasts. You understand? So their natural instinct is to do what? It's to what? It's to oppress whoever they go over and do it in such a way that it's going to look inhumane.
Right.
You understand? Like some of us once, you know what I mean, want to go live in China, and then what? We're gonna be what? Oppressed by the Chinese.
Right.
You want to go live in Ghana, you're gonna be oppressed by who? The so-called Africans.
Right.
You understand? Like it ain't not you ain't getting away from this unless you understand what freedom is, what peace is, what justice is. You understand?
Okay.
And you cannot get it from your oppressor. These things are deceptive. These things they tell us, these words they tell us so that we able to what? Drop our guard and think what? That is going to be okay. Everything going to be okay.
Right.
You're going to be just fine. You understand?
So like if I may add one.
Come on.
So it's basically like a big contradiction. Like when we say hands up, what they say, no justice, no peace. So we're not even receiving what we don't even know what justice is.
Yes.
First off, and then so we'll never have the peace because we don't even understand what justice is. We look for independent, different issues or whatever to find peace in it, but we already at a disadvantage when we enter any situation dealing with the oppressor.
Yes, correct. Like free people don't have to march for basic human rights.
Right.
You understand? Did any other nation other than black people in America? Yeah, tons of other races in America. But why it was the blacks, in so-called Negroes, right? Native Indians and so-called Hispanics. Why do we have to beg for civil rights? Why do we have to do it? And there's only one answer. Why do we have to do it?
Salaki, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't get those things.
Okay, but there's a reason why we're not getting it. Why are we not getting it?
So like the other one.
Come on.
Because we're under the curses.
I'll somewhat take that, but I'm looking for some a little more like it's so
Salaki, sir.
In your face. It's deceptive, basically. Come on.
Is it because we were never supposed to get it in the first place? It doesn't apply to us?
No. Oh, understand what I'm asking, right? I'm asking, okay, black people, give me Baruch 4 and 6 first. Right? We are in this situation right now with the oppressor because we are still in a certain type of condition. You understand? Right? Remember the topic I said, right? Why are we in this situation?
Oh, so like I said,
come on,
if I could, is it because that someone has to be at the bottom?
I'll take that. So when you say somebody have to be at the bottom, what does that mean?
Someone has to serve. You know, the upper.
I got a precept.
Hold on, Hawan. Come on, Kodam.
Salagi, sir, slavery, sir.
I'll take that. That is it. Because we are still in what? We are still in slavery technically.
Right.
You understand? We're still in slavery. We're still on the plantation. You understand? But it just so deceptive that we feel that we are what? We're free to do anything we want to do. But we are not. You need what? In the Bible, right? In the Bible. You ever hear about any type of paperwork for your children?
Sir.
Why? You understand? Why do you need a birth paper? Why do you need a marriage license? Why do you need a passport, a visa? Why?
Salaki, sir, because we living under the oppressor's ideology or his rule.
Yes, but we still what? We still his what? Property.
Property.
Because we still his property, we are what? This is a what? A slavery, but just we call it by a what? Different name. Now you call it a what? A job. Now you have a job.
Right.
But guess what? Your taxes go to him.
Right.
Guess what? You got to go take a mortgage out. You don't take a mortgage out from a black bank. You take a mortgage out from who? From your oppressor. And now that mortgage means what? You have to pay that back for your what? For your entire life. You understand? You understand? Anything you have, think about anything in your house, you have to go to who for? Your oppressor. Like if there's one nation on the earth that if the oppressor was to all pack up and head back and not back. Yeah, just head back to Caucasus Mountain. You will think black people will be happy. But guess what's going to happen? What do you think going to happen?
Salagi, sir. You go ahead.
So like the one, some of them will be upset because they get everything from the oppressor.
Yeah, but what's going to happen?
So like I said, they're going to try to follow their oppressor over there?
Yeah. How we know that?
So like I said, because they're, well, they love their oppressor.
Okay, but how we know, how we know without a shadow of a doubt, there's some Uncle Toms that will hide themselves in the wheel of that plane to head back to the Caucasus Mountain of Russia with the oppressor.
Salakia, sir, because that is what we did coming out of Egypt.
I'll take that, but give me more recent.
So like I said, they're fighting against the boot kiss.
Ah, boy. Now we getting somewhere, Maisha.
Sluggy, sir.
Yeah, come on.
Because the Bible calls us homeborn slaves.
That too. But I want evidence in life.
Sir.
Come on.
This is why the Christian church is always fighting for the white man to be a part, that he can be saved.
That too, but come on, give me it in history. How we know that there's some people that is actually going to get, climb on that plane. You remember seeing that plane from Afghanistan when America left out, how them some of Afghanistanis was holding on to the plane wheel and the wing. Right? How we know that's going to take place? Because we fought to sit in his what? In his restaurant. Because we fought to sit on his toilets. Because we fought to get on his bus. Right? You remember that, right? Yeah. So guess what? We're gonna fight to get on that plane. You understand? And that's a slave. When a gift. Remember what the Bible say about a gift? A gift destroys the what?
The heart, sir.
The heart, the mind. When you give somebody something, right? And you constantly giving them. For example, you have a son and a daughter, right? You are kids, and you constantly feeding them. Every time they're hungry, a plate comes in front of them. But you are not teaching them how to what? To survive.
Right.
You're not teaching them how to survive. A plate just comes in front of the face. If you just up and leave, what's going to happen to them?
They're going, it's like, sir, they're starved. They won't know how to feed themselves.
They won't know how to feed themselves. You understand? They will not know how to feed themselves. And in a nutshell, that's the Christian church. You understand? That's the Christian church. And that's what the Christian church has taught us.
Right.
The Christian church has taught us how not to feed ourselves, how not to love ourselves. You understand? That's what they have taught us.
Oh, so Salakia, most high Christ got so we stuck looking at the sky thinking that, you know, whatever that's out, whatever we going through just gonna fall out of the sky without actually putting in the work and changing what we do from day to day as a people.
Yes.
What they say, the pie in the sky.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Kiadwan, read the other highlighted parts there for me.
Can one cancer. One man's freedom is
you know
all.
what? You know what? Read that paragraph there. Salakia.
Can one cancer. The barnyard chickens studied by naturalist Shedderup Ebe at their period of peace, but they never had equality. No matter how quiet things were, there was always a dominant bird.
Right? And ask you can relate to this. You see chickens, you see how they are. There is a dominant cock in there. There's a dominant one. You understand? There's one that don't want the other cocks to enjoy what he enjoys. You understand? So all them hen is his own. Right? Read on.
Can one can. And there was always some unfortunate chicken trampled to the bottom of the social ladder.
I read on.
This state of things is not restricted to fowl down on the farm.
Right. Read on.
Chimpanzees, baboons, and apes, the animals relative with whom we share the greatest number of social instincts, are all prisoners of deep-rooted hierarchical drives.
Right? And that is to show you that's how your oppressors, that's how they think. Right. You understand? The Bible is not designed. You understand? It's designed, how to put it? The Bible, I should say, is designed like that, but with us in power. And with us in power, it's going to be done in a what? In a lawful and righteous way.
Damn right.
The earth is the way it is right now is because the person who is on the hierarchy he is bad. He is wicked. He is evil. He's everything negative. You understand? He's everything negative that could ever, happen for this world. You telling me you're gonna build a nuclear bomb, right? Not just one or two, right? You start with the hydrogen bomb, right? That wasn't good enough. You had to go all the way to nuclear, which is what? Over 100 times more damaging than the hydrogen bomb that dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. How much people died that day? You remember how much people died that day? I believe it was between 70,000 to 100,000 people died with them two bombs. You understand? And now, guess what? The bombs I have today is about 100 times greater than what they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Good night.
You understand? Which means these so-called oppressor, they have in their arsenal things to wipe everybody off the planet. Why do you think they're building a ton of bunkers? These rich bastards building a ton of bunkers because they know their people. They know if their people back, Yanez say what? 100,000 times. Forgive me. You understand? Tawada Yanez, right? You can imagine, you know what I mean? Your people building bunkers, which means they know what's going to be in the end of all of this. You understand? Right? Read on CAD 1.
CAD 1 can. Apparently, so are we. When we preach the ideals of freedom, peace, and justice, our intentions are less than honest.
You understand? And that's
CAD
your
1 can.
oppressor. Your oppressor, oh boy, he preaches that.
Right.
Where does he have it? He have it in his constitution, right? That all men are what? Created equal. And now, guess what? You hear a black man in Congress speak, or a black man in some, high up in the government. He's going to say, we are Americans, and we deserve this, that, the other. And that's because he done what? He done fall for the Kool-Aid. He done drink the Kool-Aid of peace, freedom, and justice. You understand? Read on.
CAD 1 can. One man's freedom is all too often another man's oppression.
You understand?
CAD
Now
1 can.
now when it comes to freedom, right? When he says freedom, what does that mean? All right? What does that mean? All right? Maya Shah, just give me a call. Right? When it comes to freedom, what does that mean?
So, like I said, maybe his right, someone's right to lord over others. Like in this context, like how one man's freedom is another man's oppression.
Yes, I'll take that, brother. I'll take that. All right, Maisha, give me a call. All right.
Come on.
All right. Now let's go to Galatians 5:1. Let's go to Galatians 5:1.
Come, I have it.
Go ahead.
This book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
So hold on. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. Okay.
Y'all gone. This book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free. And be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
All right. Be not what?
Be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
Be not what? Entangled with the yoke of what?
Bondage.
Of bondage.
Okay.
You understand? All right. What is that? What does that mean? Read over one more time.
Okay. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free. Right. And be not entangled again with
wherewith Christ has made us what?
Free.
Free. What does that mean?
It's like the other one.
Come on.
It feels like it's similar to like Deuteronomy 28 in a way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what is, how did Christ make us free?
It's like the other one. He died so that we can have a chance to get it right, like to follow the laws.
Give me a little more. What you mean?
So that we wouldn't be the ones that got killed.
Okay. What's freedom in the Bible?
Salaki, sir.
Come on.
Ruling over the other nations.
Salaki, sir.
Come on.
Knowing the truth.
Now you're on to something. You're on to it. You understand? All right. So read that verse over one more time, Hawan.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free.
Right? Stand fast, meaning what? What does it mean to stand fast?
If I'm not mistaken, it means get ready.
Say that one more time.
If I'm not mistaken, it means to get ready. So like y'all have the definition. Firmly remain in the same position or keep the same opinion.
Right? So what is he saying? I don't know who have the echo. I hear a bad echo. Right. So read it again.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ had made us free.
Mm-hmm.
And be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
Right. And how Christ came and make you free. Right? As Hawan saying, he did die on the cross, right? But what did Christ came and do again? Come on.
He gave us the laws.
He gave us what?
He gave us the laws.
He showed us how to what? How to do it.
Okay.
Right? Christ said, I did not come to what?
Destroy but fulfill.
Yeah, he came to fulfill the laws.
So like if I may.
Come on.
Just so I understand it. So like where it says the liberty with Christ has made us free, it's like we're free from the punishment of the law, from not breaking the law. Understand the spirit of the law.
Okay, that is it also too. You understand? Because now you doing the law. What does that? I mean, you doing what the Most High commanded. What's not going to happen?
So, like you said, you won't be punished. You won't be not alive.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
You
like
understand?
so that's where it's talking about the yoke of bondage.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Because the freedom that the so-called oppressor try to have you deceived about will get you what? Will get you in trouble with what? With the Most High.
Okay.
You understand? Because he's telling you what? You are free to do whatever you want to do in America. You can be a part of the LGBTQ community. You can eat crab, shrimp, and lobster. You can do anything you want on everything you want in America. You could even smoke cigarettes, weed. Your woman, they could have bought the babies if they want. You're free to do anything here in America. You understand? And the so-called oppressor, he takes that type of freedom very serious. You understand? Very serious. But we gonna have to understand when the Lord speaks about freedom, what type of freedom he's speaking about. You understand? Right? Go to 2 Corinthians 3:17. All right. And remember, how did he become free? How did he get his freedom?
Kind of got it.
How did the oppressor get his freedom?
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
He took it. You understand? You have to do something for freedom. You have to fight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You can't just sit back.
Mm-hmm. And a man give you freedom. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. The Lord wants you free to do what? What the Lord wants you free to do?
So you have to serve him, sir.
That's it, to serve him. He wants you free to serve him.
Right.
You understand? Right? He wants you in this captivity that you in, that the oppressor have you in. He wants you to do what? Serve him. You don't have a choice in it. You might think you have a choice, but we do not have a choice. Right? What are we under?
So like I said, grace.
We under grace. That ain't a choice. You understand? That's a time period for us to get it what? Right.
Okay.
All right. Now give me 1 Corinthians. Right?
You say
start at not 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 3, and you can start at 14.
Okay, I got you. This book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 14. But their minds were blinded, for this day remaineth the same veil are taken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Christ.
All right, what is that saying there?
Like it.
Uh-huh. Right. Read verse 13.
Okay. Verse 13. And not Moses, which put a veil over his face.
Right. You all remember that situation with Moses, right?
Okay.
Right. Moses went up to the mountain, right? And he asked to see the Most High. And the Most High just showed him his what? Basically his back. And Moses came down the mountain and his face was what? Was glowing. Glowing so much that he did what? He had to put a what? A veil over his face to speak to the people. Right? Read verse 13 again.
Okay. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished.
Right? So it's using this as a metaphor, basically. It's trying to tell us something here. That veil that is over Moses' face, right, is because you couldn't see. You understand? See his face. It's trying to, it's a metaphor, right? Read.
What? Verse 14. But their minds were blinded.
But their what?
Minds were blinded.
But their minds. Right? Read on.
For to this day remaineth the same veil, taken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
What does that mean?
So like that one.
Come on.
Would it be the knowing and the following of the laws?
What? Give me a little more. What do you mean?
So like I would say, is it kind of like how today we're blinded and we don't? It's like we don't follow the truth.
I'll take that. Yes, it's along that path. You understand? So now we're blinded. How it? Go ahead, K1.
Salakia, sir. Just to let you know that Captain Tizariak is live here. Yeah,
but he live? Okay. We're gonna shuffle over in a few minutes. Maya Shah, just let's have the live stream ready there, right? You can put it at the bottom. Maya Shah.
So like I said, Maya Shah still working on whatever you spoke to him about. But I can get whatever
what
you
mean
started.
Working on what's up? I spoke to him about.
I'm not sure. I think he called you, but he's still in the office, sir.
He could come out the office.
Come on, sir. I'll let him know.
Okay. Just to have him give me a call, right? One more time. But Tabo 1, you set it up for me.
Come, you want me just to rebroadcast Captain Tazariak on here?
Just get the video put at the bottom there. Just go to his channel. I mean, we're gonna switch over in 2 minutes. All right, let's put it at the bottom there and I'll put it up.
Come.
All right. So Hawan, read it over one more time.
Khan. Book of 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
But their minds were blinded.
Mm-hmm.
For to this day remaineth the same veil, untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
Meaning what? They didn't understand the Old Testament. You understand? Just like Moses had to have that veil over his face. That veil now was on their what? Is synonymous for what? They having it on their what? On their minds. They didn't understand the Old Testament. Just like today, brothers and sisters do not understand the Old Testament. And that's because your preacher, he does not understand the Old Testament, much less the New. Because if you don't understand the Old, then how you putting the New together? How you doing it? You understand? That's why the majority of things you hear coming out of pastor mouth is going to what? Contradict the what? The Bible. It's going to contradict the Bible. You understand? I should say it's going to seem as if it's contradicting the Bible. I apologize. I take that back. It's going to seem as if they're contradicting the Bible. You understand? But we know what the Bible has what? One flow. You understand? Right? Read on.
Which veil is done away in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15.
What? Which veil is what?
Done away in Christ.
Right. That veil. Right? If you believe in Christ, then guess what?
Right.
Your mind or that veil is not going to be what? Not going to be there on your mind. You understand? And what it is to believe in Christ? What does it mean to be believing in Christ?
Sluggy, sir.
Come on.
It's like saying, because Christ came on the scene and he actually showed us You understand? Like, under the spirit of the law. So now we don't have that veil because Christ was a perfect example for us to follow and to believe in him, to do the works that he did, like to walk in his footsteps per se.
Yes. Right? To basically follow Christ. You understand? To basically follow him. We're going to have to follow him. And the only place on earth that's following Christ is in the I.S.U.P.K. You're going to have to come in here. That's it in a nutshell, fear. You're going to have to come in here. So that veil could what? Come off your mind. You understand? All right. Taba one. Taba one. You there?
Con.
It started already. It started.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did it start already? Or they're still doing introduction?
I can hear you, sir. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Can you all hear me?
Can't, sir. So like I said, I think they're still doing interviews. They're still introducing.
Okay. So, Tawa, let's hold on, right? I'll tell me when they stop doing the introduction. All right. Tawa, you can hear me, right?
Con, so I'm having issues with my mic, sir.
All right. But you can hear me, right? Continue, Hawan.
Verse 15.
Zion, just call Taba one and explain to him what I said, please. Go ahead.
But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart.
Right. Meaning they don't understand the Old Testament. They don't. Right? Read on.
Verse 16. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away.
Mm-hmm. Right? And how do you turn to the Lord? You're going to have to do what? You're going to have to follow Christ. You understand? They call him what? The Son of God. You understand? You're going to have to follow the man that is closest to the Most High. That is doing what the Most High said to do. That is living how the Most High wants you to live. Read on.
Verse 17. Now the Lord is that spirit. And where that spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Right? Where the spirit of the Lord is, there is that what?
Liberty.
There's that liberty. You understand? Like we live as what in here? We live as what? How do we live in here? Like what? How do we live in here? How do we live in the UPK Akim?
It's like it's like brothers.
Yeah, we live like brothers.
Yes,
but
we live like free men. We live like free men.
Yes. You understand? Because we know the truth. And we're not going to do what? We're not going to harm our brothers. We're not going to steal from them. We're going to follow all the laws. You understand? We're going to take care of each other. You understand? We don't get into no protests and march and say no justice, no peace. We go on the street and demand what? What we demand on the streets, Akim? What do we demand on the streets? Kodam. Give me 1 minute.
I believe they ready, sir.
They're ready?
Captain, sorry.
Okay, guys, give me 1 minute. What do they demand on the street? Marisha, hold on. What do we demand on the street? Come on.
Like you said, we demand that you change your life.
Yes. And what again? What we cry out for?
So like you said, the atrocities that's happened to our people.
Yes, but what justice? Come on. Yes. From who?
From the oppressor, sir.
No. Well, yes, but who do we cry out to?
Like
the Most High.
To Yahweh, sir.
Yes, to the Most High, to the Lord. You understand? That's who we cry out to.
Salakia.
Uh-huh.
We demand justice.
Yes, that's what we do. And we cry out to the Lord for what? For justice. We don't march. You understand? And say no justice, no peace.
I mean judgment. I mean
justice. Judgment will come from justice. You understand? All right. Okay. With that, Tabo one, go ahead on what you call it again? Go ahead and put the show on, right? So Akim, right now we're gonna tune into that debate Captain Desire are gonna have. All right. If you have any other questions, what we're gonna do, just hold it and we're gonna take it next class or next week. All right. But they started, right? Tabo one?
Okay.
Okay.
Come, sir.
All right, so go ahead. Yeah. So go ahead and start it.
So Sotomayor is, you know, a crazy type of guy, but he's black, and that wouldn't really fit the aesthetic that I was looking for as far as having a conversation. So I told Ralph, I said, we got to at least have a white guy on here because Ralph is going to mainly mediate. He's not really, now he can get into it, of course, but he's mainly going to just be a mediator. So white guy, he gets Thomas Peckerwood. Is it actually Peckerwood or that's why Thomas?
What do you mean?
Like, is your name actually Peckerwood, or is that just?
No,
I'm gonna have to look up that. Somebody look up Peckerwood categorically. So it actually worked out, Ralph, because you see, Tommy ran. Like Tommy said, I ain't about to deal with Cap on this subject, and I wanted to know what would have been Tommy's position on this. Oh, Peckerwood, a white person, especially a poor white one. So you a poor white man, Thomas?
Am I poor?
That's what the definition of in the dictionary in Oxford, it says a white person, especially a poor one, another Peckerwood with bad attitude. Would that be
I'm a Peckerwood with bad attitude, absolutely.
But you're not poor though.
I mean, everyone's poor compared to somebody. I'm poor compared to Elon Musk, but I'm rich in spirit.
God damn. So you like Pecker rich, not Peckerwood?
I mean, like I said, man, everybody's rich and poor compared to some of their
maybe
fuckers,
Pecker
so,
Silver.
I mean,
maybe you Pecker Silver or Pecker Gold. So, but it was good though, Ralph. It worked out because you see, Tommy ran.
He had to back out. I won't categorize it as that. He did have to back out, and it ended up working out. Yes, because originally it was going to be a triple threat, and then he had to back out, and then so it was good that we had to because we wouldn't have had a show.
I'm a diabolical. Listen, I'm a genius because had I not said we need the white guy, we like you said, we would have had to cancel. And of course, Ralph is not going to say Tommy ran. I'm saying Tommy ran. That's what I'm saying. Captain Tazaryak is saying Tommy ran. All right. So that's how we got here. So I guess from your position, Thomas, when you see that video, is it something that you feel should white people apologize for what their ancestors did to black people? I guess we could.
Well, at base, what's going on here is it's a fetish. Fetishes are not always sexual, but they often are. This one isn't, obviously, but all fetishes are psychological.
Okay, but you said this one isn't, obviously. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's obviously not a sexual thing, but it is a fetish.
Okay, I got you. Okay, and what's the
now what I mean by that is,
I'm sorry, you're right.
What I mean by that is these trashy white people, they're descendants of the village idiots. They're not descendants of the slave master. So they get to pretend like they had some important ancestors. They're not actually like Walmart shopping, corny fucking weirdos. And like black folks, they get to like get a kick out of having this like corny fucking white loser like kiss their feet. You know, it's like guys hiring other guys to like bone their wives. It's some like humiliation fetish thing. And I realized that my lesser, like a lot of white people are like pretty fucked up and like kind of lesser people who do like really stupid shit. So I mean, like I don't care. I mean, like they got nothing to do with me. Like they're fucking idiots. And like I said, like if they should be apologizing for slavery, well, there's two things going on here. First of all, like I said, these people, they're like the descendants that village idiot than like the fucking local like ditch digger. Like the fact that they think they're like descended from like plantation owners is fucking really funny because they're not. They're like Walmart motherfuckers. Secondly, slavery precedes written language in the fossil record. So like you'd be apologizing for some like universal human institution that doesn't make any sense. Slavery still goes on today. Like black people enslave black people in Africa. Like white people enslave white people in Central Asia. Like it's not. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, is it unfortunate? Probably, but I mean, a lot of things are unfortunate. It's not. Plus, you can't apologize for what your ancestors did. Like that's not categorically possible. There's got to be like the will to atone for something in the person who does it. You can't apologize on behalf of other people. Like that's not how it works.
So nobody.
So, yeah.
So you're saying in history nobody apologizes for what the ancestors have done?
No, because that's a bitch-made move, and I'm not a bitch, so I don't do that.
So wait, so like the Germans apologizing because that y'all like the Germans, so the Germans apologizing. If they apologize, what would they be? I got to laugh out of route.
Well, they're an occupied country that were subjected to a genocidal war waged against them by Jews and communists. I mean, occupied people are subjected to all kinds of indignities.
No, what I'm asking, if the Germans apologize for what y'all did to the Jewish people, are they bitch made too?
If they're doing it out of their own free will and not because of the enduring occupation, yeah, absolutely.
No, if they're doing it out of their own free will, they're bitch made. But if they're doing it another way, what are they?
I mean, if you're an occupied country and you'll be sanctioned for not abiding certain practices and political rituals and opinions, I mean, which is the case in Germany. I'm not going to hold against Germans for not like rising up against that shit when they're literally an occupied country.
But wouldn't
I mean, that's a whole different issue. But yeah, anyone who apologizes for history and can't take their own side in a fight is a bitch.
Wouldn't you think that's reversed though? Wouldn't it be more bitch made if they did it because of policies as opposed to if they did it of their own free will?
No one should do it anyway, but it's at least understandable if there's duress. That's why in a court of law is the concept of duress. Duress removes free will.
You could be a traitor under duress. You could do a lot of things under duress. So wouldn't it be more bitch made if you're doing it under duress? That means
no, because it's like saying like if you sign a contract when I have a gun to your head, that makes you no gun to the like, no, it doesn't. It means that you're under duress. I wouldn't do it, but people are different. That's not the point anyway.
And it's weird that you say it's not bitch made to do so. So if you're a traitor under duress, that's okay.
That's not okay, but it's a mitigating circumstance.
That's a little weird. And then
it's not a little weird. It's universally accepted. It's called logic.
Well, tell me how it's universally accepted.
Because in a court of law, duress mitigates free will because you can't be said to be acting freely when you're under threat of
this is just apologizing.
Injury to life, liberty, or property.
This is just apologizing for something. This ain't a threat of death or imprisonment. This is
the apology isn't the threat. What I'm saying is that people are placed under duress, not abiding certain opinions in the Bundesrepublic. So if there's footage of Germans apologizing and seemingly to be obsequious before Jewish interest groups, that's why. It's not because the culture has made a decision, we should apologize for this, based on some sort of a spontaneous decision in that direction.
So what you're saying is that the Germans, because they can get some political gain from the Jewish people if they apologize.
No, that's not what I said. That's a positive incentive. I think duress.
No, that's what I'm trying to understand. Where is the duress? If they just apologize.
The duress is that they're an occupied country. It's against the law to carry out acts or make statements that quote unquote undermine the Constitution or promote racial hatred. You're in penal jeopardy.
Wait, no.
One at a time, gentlemen. Let Thomas finish.
You're in penal jeopardy in Germany if you say certain things that the government disagrees with, including specifically things relating to the Second World War.
Right.
I don't condone it if German people say treasonous things or genuflect before these sorts of rules, but I understand it because again, duress is a mitigating factor. And free will can't be said to be present when duress is present. And if you're in an occupied country where it's against the law to oppose official opinion on a historical event, that is what's known as duress in the textbook sense.
Well, in the textbook sense, that's not what duress is. Duress in the textbook sense is compulsion by threat of force, coercion, constraint.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
Such a constraint.
Placing someone under threat of penal liability for holding an opinion contrary to that of the government.
Not to interrupt you. You asked me not to interrupt you. Such a constraint and coercion as it will render void a contract or other legal act entered or performed under influence. The reason why I was interrupting you before, I just wanted a quick question. If you could tell me yes or no. You said Germany is under what now?
Occupation.
So Germany is not occupied by Germans. They're occupied, I'm assuming you're going to say, by Jewish people.
Germans can't occupy their own country. It's occupied by NATO, which is the arm.
So you
which is the armed element of an incredibly powerful constellation of interests.
Got you answered the question. So them apologizing, a German apologizing. I noticed you went straight to the government. When I just said a German apologizing by force, you saying that that's not bitch made. But if they do it of free will, that is bitch made.
Yeah, generally.
Okay, so if they feel like what their ancestors did to Jewish people was wrong, that's bitch made.
Yeah, it also makes you a race traitor.
I almost can't. I don't know how much I can disagree with that, but that goes right to why we do the boot kiss. And that's why I wanted to have this demonstration. And for Black people in America, I notice you call it a fetish, right? So I do want to read the Bible because it's not a fetish for us. This actually comes from the Bible of what your people.
What fetishism doesn't come from the Bible? But go ahead.
No, I said it's not a fetish. I know
you can say whatever you want, but that's what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but it does come from the Bible. I'm going to read it. That's how you know it. You just said the Bible is not a fetish. Did I hear you correctly or incorrectly?
Yeah, you're saying that your foot fetishism is in the Bible, and I know it's not. I mean, you can interpret scripture any way you want. So go ahead.
No, right. I don't mind the ad libs. I'm cool with it. But you just said that the Bible is not a fetish. I agree with you. So I'm just going to read Isaiah.
No, go ahead. Read. I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay, no problem. Isaiah 49:23. It says, "And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, thy queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet." So is that literal or not literal?
Well, it's in the same vein as that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to ascend to heaven. Okay. You know, it's not exclusively metaphorical. It's not exclusively metaphorical or exclusively literal.
Right.
But you're basically declaring that based on your race, you're a king. I mean, that's high idolatry.
I didn't base my race as a king because it doesn't say I'm a king.
No, but that's your notion though. Like
it doesn't say that I'm going to be a king. It's saying the rulers of this place, the people of this place that are in position of power or ruling, they are going to lick up my feet. I'm not the king.
But you are. But you're like rich in spirit, and they're impoverished in spirit.
This don't say rich in spirit. Let's stay focused. This doesn't say rich in spirit. This says that you guys. I'm saying you guys because from a Black person's position, you guys enslaved us. You were your ancestors. When I'm saying you, it's in general. So if you want to say your ancestors didn't have slaves, because you say you're a Peckerwood, so you probably was the trash of the white people, so you might not have had slaves.
Oh no, my ancestors were your master, absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, then so you and your people, it says, will lick up the dust of thy feet. And that's what people do. And here's the thing. I also noticed that you made a point to say that these was poor white trash people that was licking up the dust. Is that
pretty much?
All right. So what if I show you white women too licking up the dust? They poor white trash too.
I mean, there's rich white women who like to get screwed by strange guys at bars. Like that's a fetish. People are into all kinds of perverted stuff.
Let me show another video. Just another video. I'm sorry. Let me share my screen again.
All right, go ahead.
Ralph didn't really want to show this one. Hold on, wait.
I've seen it, but go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ralph. Ralph, I'm gonna make you an oil. Wow, now I'm gonna play this one.
Hold on, here you go, right here. Here go a boo right here.
White mama.
Here you go. There you go. There we go. What did you say?
Say it again.
You said you're gonna have my mom kiss your boo. I'm not gonna just have her kiss my boo. Here you go. Put that boot up there too. You're gonna kiss my brother boo too. Here you go. Put the light on it. There you go. I got it. There we go. Next brother.
So I'm gonna stop sharing. So now, why do you think they do it? Now you already said from good families, right? So it's not poor white trash. So you can't say it, but now you just flipped it. Now you just said you see. You did. You initially you initially said poor white trash. Now you said girls, white girls from good families, which so you can no longer wait, so you I just did. That's that's so now what you gonna force me to do? Because like I want everybody to pay attention to the pattern. When I showed the white guy, he said it was poor white people. Now when I showed the white, you imply poor. Hey, in my chat, can y'all let me know in my chat if he implied poor? Please let me know in the chat. And don't kill. I'm not calling him poor. I'm going off for what you said. What you said. No problem. But Thomas, you said you was a peckerwood. I looked it up. The definition said poor. I didn't say poor. You said you was poor. When I put up the book, if I don't know something, if I don't know what something is, you're supposed to look it up. Why not know? Should I just think, look? No, you do. You do look up what it means. I don't understand that because if there's any, no. Listen, when I looked up Peckerwood to me was poor, but you made me look it up because I didn't want to. If somebody say Peckerwood, you think somebody up in it. If you say, hey Thomas, if you say somebody that's a Peckerwood, you thinking about somebody in the sticks, somebody like. I'm telling you, no, you ain't getting what I'm saying. When I think of, I'm telling you what I think of when I think of Peckerwood. It's like if you say redneck, you thinking of some type of hillbilly or something like that. But like you said, you in Chicago, so I had to look it up. So the reason why we're going through this poor and rich narrative is because you initially said they was poor. You initially said they was rich. But to get back to the reason why I chose to, hold on one second. If you could bear me 1 second. Hold on, they telling me they can't hear you. Bear with me 1 second. I just want to check my audio just to make sure that they can hear you. If you don't mind, Ralph. I appreciate it. Let me go back. Maybe I might have clicked something here. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, I see what happened. I turned the damn share screen off.
Yeah, that'll mess with it
Okay,
sometimes.
yeah. If you turn the share screen off, it'll definitely stop, but it should be good. It should be good now. So now the reason why we do this, right, is so now you just heard you just said the Bible is not a fetish. And to my audience, y'all should be good now. The reason why we do that, you said the Bible is not a fetish. So what we do is Black people suffer from something that's called Stockholm syndrome, right? Stockholm syndrome is of course, did that happen in Germany?
But no, it happened in Sweden. Stockholm's in Sweden.
Right. So
like these pervy white people who are into like licking your feet, they suffer from it. But go ahead.
No sweat, man. If that's your cop out, that's your cop out.
It's not a cop out.
It's a cop out. We get this done all over. Then I tell you what, y'all must be some freaky ass white people because we get this done all over the country. All over the country in the UK, ain't nothing but freaky ass white people that like to kiss boots, which I ain't surprised because y'all weird in the first place. But now Stockholm syndrome is
you call yourself captain and are into feet, man. Like that's fucking weird.
I'm not into feet. I don't
well, apparently you are, but go ahead.
I don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome, but my people do. So I just want to. But you probably gonna get mad because I'm reading the definition. Stockholm syndrome is proposed conditional theory that tries to explain why hostages sometimes develop a psychological bond with their captors. It's supposed to result from a rather specific set of circumstances, namely power imbalances contained in hostage-taking, kidnapping, and abusive relationships. So how does that apply to Black people? So for Black people being enslaved over here for so long, we have, and then as we're enslaved, we get certain gifts, so to speak, from our slave masters. So they give us a sense of freedom. They give us a vehicle. They give us a job. They give us tons of different things, even drugs. They give us tons of different things that gives us a sense of being free, but we're not actually separated from the actual master or the oppression that they still give to us. So when we come out here on the street, I noticed that you said I was a captain. So when we come out here on the street, the Bible, Christ said in John 8:32, ye shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. When he said that statement in John the 8th chapter, in the very next verse, you had the Sadducees and Pharisees who was under the Romans at that time said, we be Abraham's seed and were not in bondage. And so when we go to black people to try to free them from the same Stockholm syndrome Christ was trying to free them from, they say the same thing to us. And surprisingly, what happens is, as we're on the street teaching, because it's a public space, like we're not, like right now I'm in my classroom, so we don't allow like whites and Africans and Chinese into my classroom. But when we're on the street, anybody can listen. And so white people would just be walking by, whether we're in DC with the politicians, whether we're in South Carolina, Florida, wherever we may be, and they'll hear what we're saying. And when we start bringing out the crimes that they've committed, they want to apologize.
They're weak-minded motherfuckers, and these people could fuck up a cup of coffee. They're not capable of enslaving an entire race. Like my heritage is, theirs isn't. They're fucking Walmart.
Who's your race that can enslave an entire race? Who is that?
Who's that? The fucking master caste, man. You said it yourself. You see how bitch-made white people who got no backbone and are basically slaves themselves.
Wait, when you say master caste, remember, I don't know these terms. What is a master caste?
Okay, you know the language you speak, the way you dress, the food you eat, the concepts you have in mind,
right?
Like the ethical paradigms you invoke,
right?
That's from my people. That's what I gave you. You literally don't exist socially without me.
Wait, I got you. But ain't it also your people we getting to bow down and lick up?
I'm not being down on you about that. It's just a fact.
No, I don't. You didn't hear me complain. But isn't it also your same people that you said that could enslave us that's also licking the boots?
No, because anybody would do that.
Was that
anyone who would lick a man's boot is a fucking slave, and they do not have the fucking bearing for it.
So maybe those white people are preparing to be slaves.
No, right? What they are, they're the descendants of
slaves.
They're the descendants.
They're descendants of the masters, right?
No, they're the descendants of the fucking village idiot.
That's cap. That's cap. That's not true. That's
absolutely true.
They are the
descendants. You think anybody?
They weren't the descendants.
You think anybody who had like an intact heritage would fucking do that? No, they're fucking. They're people ripped out of history. They're fucking. They're no account motherfuckers. They couldn't even tell you who their grandfather is. They fucking, their life revolves around Walmart, and they fucking, like, CNN told them, like, you owe the black man. They're doing that bullshit.
You must hate Walmart. Or maybe for them, there's a condition, right? I'm gonna pull out some stats. I don't know why you hate stats personally. I don't know why you hate that. There's this thing called white shame, right? How to convert guilt into action, right? It's not written by me at all, but I do research. I have to study. Right. So it says, I'm just going to read some of this article and get down to the point that I'm trying to make. It says, over the last month, sparked by the murder, this was written in 2020, sparked by the murders of unarmed Black Americans and subsequent protests, the national conversation has turned to the country's racist past and present. For some, this conversation includes reckoning with oneself. Have I participated actively or subconsciously in a racist system that oppresses people of color? Am I a racist? Asking this question and facing the true gravity of America's oppressive history can plunge people into an overwhelming shame. So would you agree or disagree that maybe it's your slave master's relatives' shame that they look at by kissing this boot, they're making amends for their shame, but they know that's all they have to do?
That statement you just read out, it's an ideologically loaded statement. It's the quintessentially loaded question. It's like saying, when did you stop beating your wife?
Right.
Saying, if you think this, you're a racist. Like, first of all, racist is a meaningless term. It's a floating signifier. Again, like it's literally a term coined by Trotsky to try and condemn the social and economic paradigm that he opposed by saying this is inherently immoral and bad. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe it's neither. But like people telling me if you don't do this or say this, you're racist. That means
Well,
nothing to me.
Well, God himself is a racist, so I don't think it was coined by Trotsky or whatever name that you mentioned. God himself is a racist. God doesn't love everybody. He doesn't love all nations. So if we're going to start with the point,
Very few people are saved, but God doesn't discriminate based on like tribe or ethnos. That's not how it
yes,
works.
he absolutely does.
There's people who reject God outright, like the Jews, but other people who accept Logos,
Well,
like he doesn't say
people,
like, oh, this race is
well,
bad.
God,
That's not how it works.
well, God hates Jewish people too. Like they ain't nothing but another set of white people. So
No,
God,
they're not.
yes, they are. That's
No, they're not.
brother. Yeah, the Jewish man.
If you're talking about group anatomy, yeah, but that's not what race
Ain't
is.
no damn group anatomy. Y'all from the same tribe of Esau. They're
No.
Amalek. Yeah, you
No.
know. Yes, they are. I know that hurt a little bit, don't it? That your brother.
They don't hurt. It's like you could say I'm Chinese. It's just like not
I
true. It
wouldn't
doesn't
say you're
hurt. It's just, like,
Chinese
not
because
true.
you ain't from Moab, so you're not Chinese. But if we're talking about the Bible, remember, in the Bible, it says you can't intermarry, and that Israel was supposed to be above all nations. That is racism. To put a nation and say that this nation should be the top nation above all nations.
That's not what it said. It said that they were the subject of the covenant, and then Christ, and hold on, and then when Christ's arrival on earth, Christ was Logos incarnate, and that neutralized the original covenant. So like Jews lost their elect status.
Okay, now
that's
we're
what
getting
happened.
into a good
It wasn't God saying like this race is good, this race is bad.
Right.
And like the Jews who rejected Christ, yeah, they're on the outs with God, but that's why. It's not like because of their DNA or something.
Well, now we're getting into a good conversation. So Deuteronomy 7:6 says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people upon the face of the earth." That's what racism is. Racism. Then when you look up,
no, but it depends on like.
Hold up, let me finish. Appreciate it.
Well, it's also you're saying that you're saying that like your wisdom is superior to that of God's, and like that's.
I'm not saying my wisdom is that superior of God, but if the scriptures say, "Let God be true and every man a liar," so if I'm reading that God said He chose you to be above all people on the face of the earth, that's not equal.
But why did He do that? He didn't do that because He's like Jews have the right DNA.
I'm not even wait. What's probably hard. The reason why it's hard for you to have this conversation is because your brother, the Jewish man.
No, I'm not.
He's your brother.
If anybody is, you are, because like you
No,
worship
that
the
ain't
Jew,
my
literally.
brother. We don't worship no damn Jewish man. Are you crazy? But
You're
that's
wearing a Star of David, man. You're wearing a Star of David. Like you literally worship the
this
Jew.
is not. You know, stars don't have points. Stars is a ball of gas up in the sky.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you. Yeah. See, I'm a teacher today. So now, if
I'm not the one wearing the Star of David.
If God said He chose a people to be above all people, that's what racism is. When you look up the word racist, racist is thinking that your race is superior to others. God set Israel to be superior to others, not Jews, not the Jewish man. The Jewish man ain't shit. I'm with you. I hate your brother like you hate your brother.
I don't hate anybody.
You hate the Jewish man, though.
No, I don't hate anybody. Why would I hate?
I don't know why you don't want to say this is a kill stream. We got the freedom to say what we want on route.
I say whatever I want. I don't say hating
and the
people.
part that you said, the part that you said about Christ being the Logos or being God, that's cap, because Christ didn't come for all nations.
That's not what I said. Not all people can receive Logos. Those who can.
When you say not all people, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is a lot of people believe that in the Old Testament, like you just said, you said Jews, but I would say Israel got the covenant. But when Christ came now, if you believe in Christ because He's this Logos, as you said, that now you have the opportunity. So now an Asian or a black or a white or something like that can now be a part of that. What I'm saying,
the kingdom of Christ is the new Israel. That's the
exactly right. So what I'm telling you is that the kingdom of Israel is the same kingdom it was the whole time, which is just the nation of Israel. If I could just read two more verses, in Deuteronomy 7:7, it says, "The Lord." Now this goes to show you that this is God that's a racist of His own words, not me. This Deuteronomy 7:7. "The Lord did not set His love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because He would keep the oath which He has sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of the bondmen of Egypt." So it's God, who's a clear racist, that chose to love Israel, not because they was the most people, but because He made that covenant.
No, that's not. But you're deliberately misinterpreting like why God chose the Israelites. He didn't do it because of their race. He did it because they were the subject of the covenant.
That's not
because
what
they could because they could accept Logos. They accepted monotheism.
Okay,
with other people worshiping idols. That's why. It's not because God said, I like this race. They're really dope. Like, that's not what happened.
Okay, so you partially correct because you're saying what
100% correct.
No. The reason why I'm saying you're partially correct is he didn't choose him for a race per se. He chose him because of Abraham. So Abraham had Isaac.
That's my point.
Right. Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob became the Israelites, and that's who he loved. But once he established that covenant and love for Israel, Israel is to be above all nations. You know what he says about the other nations? When you read Isaiah 40 and 17, he says the other nations are unto spit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're pagans, they're idolaters.
Wait.
Okay, why did he say that? Okay, hear me out for a minute. Why did he say that? They were practicing child sacrifice. They were worshiping idols. That's why. Like they were essentially worshiping Satan. I mean that's why. Okay, it's not because he's like that. Those races are bad. It's because they rejected Logos. They rejected the God, in favor of worshiping Moloch or Baal or whatever. And the Canaanites, who believed Scripture, literally threw children into the fire. I mean that's why they were out with God. It's not because they were like the wrong tribe or something. Anyone like Jews are like a special tribe because of like their DNA, like they claim today. Like that's completely that's blasphemous. It's not just wrong.
And before Edomites were born, God hated them. Had nothing to do with idol worship. Before they were born, like in Rome.
Yeah, but that's I mean that comes down to predestination and a lot of other things.
Well, that's y'all people though. That's where you descend from. So in Romans the 9th chapter, when he says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, but that the purpose of God according to election."
I mean, I don't.
So
you're basically flipping identity Christianity on its head. Like you're just like the guys who claim like the black man's the descendant of Shem and is like the mark of whatever. Like I don't accept that.
I don't know about no mark, but we are the descendants of Israel, the true ones. You guys are the descendants of Esau. So in Romans the 9th chapter, it clearly says,
Jacob. No, I'm the descendant of Caucasus marauders who
that's where Edom comes from.
Who mastered Equestrian and conquered the Central Asian and European landmass.
Got you. Where did Esau dwell? Do you know? The whole Caucasus that you just said, that's Edom. Esau was a cave dweller. He dwelt in the Caucasus.
He came in the Near East. He may have been, but it wasn't like a Caucasus. It was in the Near East.
Okay.
It was in what would now be in proximity to Mount Ararat and all that.
Right. So
that's not like a Caucasus. That's what we consider the Middle East.
Yeah. When you read Obadiah, it says, "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock." He was known as a cave dweller in the Bible, and you guys call yourselves cave dwellers today. That's the Caucasus Mountain.
The Caucasus is
the Caucasus.
It's not caves.
The Caucasus Mountain. That's where y'all came out the mountains mad as shit too. But
and that's
subject.
Now you're talking like that's like NOI shit. Like
NOI.
I haven't heard anybody tell me a caveman since I was fucking talking to the pipe and
NOI believes some big head scientists created y'all. I'm not the NOI.
No, but they call whitey cave dwellers. I just hadn't
Y'all
heard that.
Call yourselves cave dwellers. You can't get mad at the NOI.
I don't get mad at anybody. Right. I know NOI dudes. I've recorded them for my content. I don't give a fuck.
But when you say that the NOI says y'all were made out of the caves, but y'all say y'all was made out of the caves, you can't.
I've actually never said that. But okay.
Yeah, you just said that. So
I just said that. No, I did not just say I'm a caveman.
So now that we established that God is definitely a racist, he hates Esau. That's where white people come from. What we have to do as black people in America, the point of that boot kiss, and what I do like about you, Peckerwood, is that it's rare on Ralph's channel that we read a lot of scriptures, but I was able to read a lot of scriptures. So when
I'm a Calvinist, man. I grew up reading scripture. I should do it more now as a grown up.
Don't read it no more. No, you don't need to read no more scriptures because it ain't for you. It's like if I get it's like if I get the American Constitution, that ain't for me, right? Do you think that's for me?
It's not comparable. I mean, one's basic criminal procedure code, one's the word of God.
Hand clap back, man. Give him a hand. I like honest white men. I love honest white men. You see what he said? Listen, I hope to my black audience, listen to Peckerwood. Peckerwood said it is not comparable. Why? Because when the American Constitution was written, we were slaves. It wasn't written with us in mind. When they say all men are created equal, we were not the men that it was thought of. And when the Bible was written, it wasn't written for all people either. So when Christ came, or when Moses came, it was.
Well, I mean, that wasn't my point. My point is one's the word of God and one's a criminal procedure code. So,
but they got the same principle though. When it says all men are created equal, it's not including all men.
That's Jacob and bullshit thrown in there by Thomas Jefferson. That's also not true. But
what's not true? What's not true?
All men are equal. That's fucking retarded.
Thank you. That's my point, because we were slaves. So how could it mean all men are equal when they killing us, raping us, doing all that evil to us, but all men are equal? I'm in agreement with you. And that's my point. And the Bible is the same way. The Bible is the written will and testament to the children of Israel. It's not written to everybody. So that Jewish man that stole the records is no different than the Christian white men that stole the records as well. So what we have to do when we go out on the streets, the reason why I showed that video with them black ladies getting their boot kissed, the only way to counter the psychological destruction of black people
is foot fetishism.
No, not like you. Now you minimize it to foot fetish, right? But you know what a black person.
I'm not minimizing it. It's weird.
What a black person that has looked up and idolized white people, that have grown up in fear of white people, can see black men on the street talk aggressively to other white people, white women and white men, get them on their knees to apologize. That's how you free mental oppression. Because all their life they think we supposed,
Yeah, but my point was at the beginning, like at the start, like anybody who would do that is a punk.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because you first said they was poor, but then you said they was rich.
No, I'm saying now anybody who do that,
but when you
anybody,
I'm here.
Anybody who do that is a punk. So I don't see how it can alleviate your anxieties in that regard. Because like no like white man who stands on his own 2 feet would fucking do that.
So now,
if you told me to do that, I'd give you like a 20 because you made me laugh, and then I'd fucking walk on.
So now you saying that they're a punk. The white man is a punk. That's fine. Whatever you want to.
No, I'm saying those guys aren't white men. They're punks. There's a difference. They're the kinds of guys who go to prison and are like holding on to a guy's pocket.
Listen, you could be a white punk.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of white people.
Right.
Like, I don't happen to be one of them. That's why I don't do that bullshit. That's why I'm fucking asking.
Hey, with a name like Peckerwood, I'm definitely not saying you a punk. But them white,
I know that.
No problem. Them white punks and white women. No, don't distract me right now. Them white punks and white women that get on their knees. If you, whatever you want to call them as a white man that think they should not, that's on you. But when we're on that street, for my people that are watching, that frees them from psychological oppression. Would you at least, now, let's say if it was reversed. Let's say if we had you enslaved and then you see black people and you get them down there, you don't think that psychologically that would free white people from their oppression or what they feel like they're oppressed?
No, I don't.
That's cap. That's cap. And I'm gonna tell
I'm
you,
not a foot fetishist, man.
It ain't a. See, now you know why you say foot fetish, because it offends you, especially when I showed that white one.
I'm not offended. I think people who kiss people's feet and are in the feet are foot fetishists.
Ain't kissing a foot, literally. He kissing a boot.
Yeah, so it's a boot fetish.
No,
some guys like some guys are into like girls with big breasts. Some guys are into feet. I mean, I'm not into any of that shit.
What we're into is justice. What we're into is freeing. That's why I read John 8:32. Ye shall be free. The mentality that black people still think that they should vote for a president of the United States, still think they should go into the white man's church or white man's religion, build up white America. The only way to counter that is to inspire them. And the boot kiss is just like one of many things. Us even being on the street corners, if we say the white man is a devil, we the children of the Israelites, stop using this drug, stop aborting and stuff like that. There's other things that we do right there too. But when you get a white, and maybe you would have to be black to understand, or maybe you would have to be oppressed, which your day is coming, but maybe you would have to be oppressed as well to understand what it means to a black person that sees another black person getting a white woman or man willingly to get on their knees to apologize for what their ancestors have done, because we're the one race that has never really gotten an action apology. What I mean by action apology, the Jewish man get apologized, they give him millions of dollars. The damn New York governor just gave him 185 million. So they don't just apologize, they put action behind their apology.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you know, you gotta like, you know, there's not in War and Peace and in fucking history, there's not any felonious conduct, man. Like there's not, I'm sorry this shit happened.
Well, start from the beginning. Say that I want to get what you just said.
I said in War and Peace and in fucking history, there's no fucking felonious conduct, man. You know, like if you get caught lacking, you get enslaved or you lose or you get took the fuck down. You know, like there ain't no apologies. Anyone who would apologize is a fucking bitch. That was my point.
Right. So what do you think?
I mean, if you got a foot fetish or if you want like bitch made white people to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. It's like them people aren't capable of shit anyway. They're not the people if shit got lit, you'd have to deal with anyway because they're fucking pussies. But you know,
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
But you shouldn't give a fuck anyway. Like I mean, I'm basically a minority of one where I'm at, and I mean, I don't come at nobody like disrespectfully, like man to man, and like, I mean, that's cool, man. That's like basically all you old people, you know.
I'm gonna tell my audience something. My excuse me, I'm sorry. This cat Peckerwood, he's for the slaughter. I'm just letting y'all know now. He don't want.
Welcome to try anytime, man. I'm pretty fucking heavily armed.
I'm gonna explain what I mean. Listen, because Ralph was like, "Oh god damn, Cap, I can't bring you back no more." That's what I mean. Is like, so for what we teach, right? We teach that there'll be those that are going to the kingdom that'll be slaves and apologize, and then there'll be some that are just firewood. Peckerwood is saying he ain't gonna be a German bitch like his German bitches, the German bitches that he had that apologized, that he felt as bitches. He's not gonna be them. You would just take the death, is what you're saying, Peckerwood, right?
Even you could try. Like I said, I don't think it'd work out.
No, I'm not coming to. No. Listen, I'm not talking about. I'm not.
No, I know. I'm just.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I'm not talking about me doing anything to you.
No, I know, man.
But if you want to chop and block, and you got the choice of apologizing, getting on your knees and apologizing, or death, you choosing death, right?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen sometime anyway.
That's what I meant when I say he for the slaughter. So everybody can understand. I ain't saying that.
I gotta raise up in a minute, man. We can do this again next week if you want. I don't mean to like be abrupt, but
did they say
are there like questions anybody's asking or anything you want me to cover?
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask, and maybe you could play off this too, but before you go, I figured it'd just be an hour anyway. But this whole thing started, Captain, because some black people disagree with you. Black 100,
definitely.
And I know you were tight with him. And I've seen you do some content with him, and I think you were in the Ye interview with him as well.
Yeah.
And so I was just gonna ask your reaction to that. And I know he trashed you basically on Adam 22's show. I saw that clip too, and he kind of
Hey, Ralph,
there's kind of a bad energy on that show, man. Like I'm not talking some shit on Adam 22. I mean, I'm gonna hold my piece on that, but there's like bad energy there, man. I think. But go ahead.
Now, Ralph, I do not have a problem answering because you're so kind to me on the show, and so I think on the No Jumper show, didn't Wax say I had a white mother?
He did say that. Yes. I was surprised to hear that. I don't know. He did say that. We played the clip, and I
was mind boggled when they sent me.
I was too.
Yeah, when they sent me the clip and said, "Yeah, Whack on No Jumper said you got a white mother." So what bugged me out the most is I said, "Well, where's he getting his intel from?" Like my mother is not white at all. Both my parents are black. So me and Wax fallout is over this subject, the boot kiss.
Yeah,
like we didn't have an issue. We now, and for the record, I want everybody to understand I'm answering this because Ralph asked, and like Ralph lets me do what I want, so he deserves to get a full detailed answer. So a couple of weeks ago, me and Wack is on the 100 side on Clubhouse. And so as we're on the 100 side on Clubhouse, we didn't even start talking about the boot kiss at all. We was talking about vegan versus meat and different subjects. And so he brought up the boot kiss. And what's interesting, did you play the content where he told Adam to kiss the boot?
I didn't hear that. I just saw his clip and a little bit of you guys' discussion. And he did say you had a white mother, and I was baffled by that because I didn't think that was true.
Hey, Ralph, did a part of you think we might be related?
Well, we do get along pretty well. You know, I was shocked to hear that, and I thought it was bullshit, but I was also like, maybe he knows something I don't know, right? Like I've never heard that, but you didn't. It didn't strike me that way. That you have
Nah,
right
no
now,
problem.
yeah.
So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try to find the clip where he tells Adam to kiss the boot because of me. And the reason why I'm gonna find that clip is because what makes that interesting is because Wack goes from supporting me, like Wack brought me on the show, like you just mentioned that he brought me on. Excuse me, I interviewed Kanye West through him.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Which was a big spot. By the way, let me let Thomas get his final thoughts in here because
Okay,
I
no
know he's going to bounce. And I figure we only had him for about an hour anyway.
Right,
It's
and then
coming
I'll
up on
finish breaking it down.
yeah, and then you can finish with that. But just final thoughts here, Thomas, and you could weigh in on anything else you want and promote your stuff too here.
Yeah, you can find me on Substack. That's probably where I'm most active these days, man. It's real REAL Thomas777.substack.com. I'm on Twitter, man. At real capital REAL _7 HMAS 777.com. I got a T-Gram channel again. I get nuked off there, man, for like fucked up and frivolous reasons.
That's crazy.
Well, it's like I think there's a strong like Ukrainian element to their I don't even know they're publicly traded, but whoever like the control group is, they're like on the private side. And like if you trash Ukraine, they'll like fucking ban you. But then I stopped doing that because I was consciously aware that they're sensitive about that. And I just got like arbitrarily nuked. But I do have a T-Gram channel now. It's Mind Phaser. It's named after the podcast. I mean that's basically what I'm up on. I'm trying to get some more long form stuff done. And I'm working on this book I want to get done hopefully by October, November, man. I'm probably gonna publish it through Imperium because they've been very good to me. But that's basically what I've got going on at the moment. And thank you very much for hosting me, man.
I love it, and thank you
really
for filling in.
appreciate it.
Like I said,
I
it's
didn't mean
short
sorry to be
notice.
abrupt, man. It's just this
No,
is a really
no.
fucking hectic week.
I appreciate you coming, man.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was good talking to you,
too.
Captain.
We'll
But yeah,
get you back
reach
on
out,
soon to talk about politics and the geopolitics and stuff like that too, because got a lot of stuff I'd like to talk about on that front too. So
no, just hit me up next week or the week after. I could probably give you 2 hours if you give me like a few days notice. It's totally up to you. Like no hard feelings if you want to do that. But if you want,
no, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, just hit me up, man. You know how to get hold of me. And yeah, be good, Captain. It was good to see you again,
no
man.
problem. Anytime. Next
All
time,
right,
the subject. Next time you
appreciate
the subject, and I'll come back.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right,
all right, fellas, be good.
All right, thank you, Thomas.
All right, so Ralph, I want to share my screen. I want to play this video real fast so people can see, just so I could kind of get like a timeline. So in this video, I'm about to play right here.
White guy. Y'all took credit for building America, and you know goddamn well you didn't.
I wasn't there. You ever hear like you shouldn't be judged by the sins of your father?
Bullshit.
Apply that to the white race. Thank you.
Captain Tazariot and the Hebrew Israelite says you should pay for your father's sins. Kiss the goddamn boot. You seen him do this shit, right?
All right, so I'm gonna stop that right there. So when I did that, okay, I see how I stopped the other share because I think I had clicked the wrong one. So stop sharing that one. I think I clicked the right one. All right, so as you can see, like I was saying earlier, like he plugged me with Kanye West to do the interview with Kanye. Was interested, Ralph. February of this year, we had this issue. February of last year, there was another fake issue because these are not real issues. This is shit he made up. So like last year, he created another fake issue, and then he came in and contacted me. And the reason why the No Jumper thing came about was I was supposed to debate Richard Spencer. Ralph, you know I've been trying to get Richard Spencer. I even asked you if you can get Richard Spencer. So he has said he can get Richard Spencer, wanted me to come on the No Jumper to debate, and Richard Spencer ended up backing out. And so I was in California, so he brought me on the show. So a couple of weeks ago, we going back and forth over the boot kiss, and he's saying his position is that us making white people kiss the boot is going to make like Aryan type of whites start harming innocent black women and children because we making them kiss the boot, which was strange to me because we've been doing this for like over 40, 50 years and it hasn't happened yet. And so I ended that conversation by saying this. I said, if you want us to stop making white people kiss the boot, then you have to actively go into the black communities with us to stop gang violence, because one thing we do know is that innocent men, women, and children are getting killed from gang violence. So that was like a Monday. By Wednesday, they was doing a room like F-Cap, we're going to expose Cap. So I don't know what caused the flip. Now, me being slightly a conspiracy theorist, like I ain't really all the way a conspiracy theorist, I would say maybe some white man told him, you got to stop Cap talking like that on your show. But I could talk however I want on your show, so I don't know why there's an indifference or anything like that. So I don't have a direct answer as to what his issue is with me. What I can say with 100% certainty that I've done nothing to him. Even like you see this shirt I got on, Kiss the Boot?
I see that, yeah. I was looking at it earlier, yeah.
Now, I didn't know that my school had this shirt made already. When I was on the phone with Wack, he said to get a shirt called Kiss the Boot. He said, hey, man, you should call yourself Captain Zaryak, a.k.a. Kiss the Boot. Excuse me, Mr. Kiss the Boot, a.k.a. Mr. I.S.U.P.K. So he was like with me with the joint. So I don't really have a direct answer as to why he's like that. Only thing I could say is that I'm not affiliated with him anymore. But so I don't know how to tell you, like, what was the camera that broke the back. I don't know. I just,
yeah, it was really strange. And I know he was a big promoter of yours. And like you said, you know, I forgot he said that. Try to accuse you of having a white mother. It was a really kind of a personal attack, honestly. And I was like, what the fuck? When I was watching it, it was really nasty, right? Like, I mean,
well, you know, used to be
he's trying to hurt your cred with black people, kind of, right? To throw that out. That's what he's trying to do, wasn't it? Right? He's got a white mama.
Part of it, I'll tell you, part of it is like a lot of what Wack does is content driven. So even if it's not real, if it's fake or whatever, if it drives content, and that's the bad thing about social media. Like you could just make up anything about anybody, and you know what I mean. So I guess he thought maybe saying I got a white mama was supposed to make me lose people, but
right,
I ain't lose nobody because everybody knows I ain't got my white. I'm about to say my white. My mother's been to my cookout. My mother birthday. That is crazy as hell to me. I would have thought like maybe say like I don't know. I'm trying to think like what else could you say? Like, but now because like for an Israelite saying I got a white mother, if I had a black father, I still would be black. So it wouldn't even be enough to say I got a white mother. So even if I had one, if my father's black, it wouldn't stop me from being black. Now, if he said I got a white father, then that would give more credence, which is why I didn't take it as serious as a lot of other people took it. A lot of other people look at it like, damn, Wack said he got a white mother. Maybe he do got a white mother. I looked at it as Wack is a troll. And that's Wack trolling. That's how I looked at it. But at the same time, I'm not going to affiliate with that no more. So that's the best.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. And again, you know, I heard it and I didn't believe it, but I was like, you know, where is that even coming from, right? Like, I never heard that before. So I was like, sounds like bullshit, but like, you know, I never asked you about your mama. Like, I wouldn't because it has nothing to do with the show, right? Like, I would never even come up in the first place.
The subject, I can see asking, but if mama ain't about the subject, why we talk about mamas for?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It was just really weird. And yeah, you know, if he's just trolling, I have to deal with that too, where people just make up some shit.
For no damn
some people like that type of entertainment.
And
whatever.
And the thing about Clubhouse, where he said it at, and even with the Adam, they thrive off of what they call plays and fake narratives. So it don't even matter if it's real or not. It's like, what can get the people in the room? I'm gonna fill a room up. Okay, Cap's mom is white. I'm gonna fill a room up. But after that's over, you destroy your friendship over a lie. Now there's no friendship no more over a lie. So because if a person snakes you once, you might let it slide or something like that. But to snake me twice, I just can't affiliate it with that. So
yeah, and I have this same principle. You know, I'm kind of a forgiving guy, and I've welcome people back, and you know, usually it's a mistake though, I'll say, even after the first snaking, because if they'll snake you once, they'll probably snake you twice, and I found that out the hard way many times.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a gamble because I always give people two chances,
Yeah, I try to do that too.
Yeah, and it's a gamble. It's a gamble in the sense that there's some people I gave a second chance, it worked out.
Yeah. I've had it
You know what
happen
I'm saying?
too.
So it's only that the ones that don't work out seem to stand out more, of course.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, God damn it, why did I even try? I ain't trying no more. And then the next person comes, you give them a second chance. But for us as Israelites, we always are looking to give, our brothers second chances. And although I'm not gonna affiliate with him anymore, I don't wish no ill or nothing. I hope he has the best, be the richest, wealthiest man on the planet. I'm just not messing with him no more because I would never trust him. And if I can't trust you, then I just can't rock with you.
Yeah, and I completely understand. And it's happened to me, but I figured I'd ask you about it because that's how this whole thing kind of started.
Yeah, definitely. And I
in the
think it
first
worked
place.
out pretty good, man. I made my man Peckerwood run off. I thought he was gonna do 2 hours. I was hoping to.
Well, I figured he might just have an hour.
Okay.
We could do another discussion, another hour with him. He said he could come back for a couple hours.
Yeah,
in a couple
definitely.
weeks.
Let me know, or anybody. Like if I don't know how
Yeah.
Richard Spencer. I don't know if y'all cool or anything like that.
Well, we were cool, and he's been on the show a lot, but I don't know if he's ducking the kill stream now. I don't want to throw any shade, but
Right.
seems like he might be.
Yeah, because I think that would be huge to have somebody of his ilk, somebody of mine to have a discussion, whether it be politics, whether it be racial based, political based, whatever it may be. I think that could be a good conversation that we could have. I think it'd be good for both sides.
You know what? I'll reach out to him, but I can't guarantee anything. He's been on the show plenty of times, and he was on the show several times last year. But he's kind of look. I'm not even throwing shade. I'm just being honest. He's one of these cats that's one day he's going this way, one day he's going that way. It's cool. And now he's kind of keeping his distance. And so that's just the kind of guy he is. Not talking shit. That's just
I understand.
I have no beef with him, to be clear, and I would love to host it, but I'll reach out on it. And I was gonna ask you, what should we talk about next time we have you on? Like, I mean, we could just do a general discussion.
Yeah, we can have a general open discussion. It could be normally it's usually like race relations. What I do like about Peckerwood in this conversation is we was able to go to the Bible a little bit. Now I don't a Bible discussion. It doesn't have to be. But I know like race is a huge thing in America. Even if it's critical race theory, is it legit? But we'll probably agree with transformers.
You talking about the trannies? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I forgot the station I was on. I can say trannies here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can say trannies now on Rumble. You know what? Yeah, a discussion on race. Also, it's been a while since we had you with a so-called Jew as well.
But that'll be the fun. Listen, every Black History Month, I play that video of me and you when I pulled out the Hitler book.
That's one of the funniest. I completely lost my composure once you did that.
Listen,
and he literally pulled out the book, put it on the camera. It's like a Nazi book too. I was just losing my shit.
Ralph, right? You have to see your face, and then Ralph think he's slick. Ralph said, "Can you show that again? Because we didn't see it." So Ralph.
And for those who don't know, he was debating like a literal Jewish settler in the West Bank when he pulled this out. One of the Killstream historic moments for sure.
Man. I say check with the audience too, because I know a lot of your followers know of me, because sometimes they'll comment on my videos. I comment back. So if they got somebody in mind, I'm definitely interested in coming back. It could be a so-called Jewish man, it could be a white man, it could be any subject. You just hit me up and then we could work it from there.
All right, I'll do that. And I'm trying to have a debate on. I'll ask you this while you're still here, and then I'll let you promote your stuff. I'm trying to get a debate versus a so-called Jew, how we'd say it. They would say just Jew. But
we say so-called Jew too.
A Jew, quote unquote, versus somebody on whether or not what's going on in Palestine. I don't know if you care about what's going on.
Oh
in
no,
Palestine,
that would be a good that actually I would definitely do that. Like, let's say if you hit me up tonight and say I got somebody for tomorrow, I would do it tomorrow. Because
you know what, I might be able to arrange it tomorrow, because I've got this Jewish guy, so-called Jewish guy,
right?
And I'm trying to get him paired up with somebody to debate whether or not what the Israelis are doing is a genocide.
Exactly. Right. So the Israeli versus Palestine, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Okay, you know what? I'll work on that tonight.
Okay.
And I'll see if you're down tomorrow, I'll see if I can get that set up.
Yep.
Okay.
Down with that.
That'd be great because I'm trying to fill that slot and it's
it's filled.
tough.
Cap, listen, Cap got one of the slots. Let's get a so-called Jew for the other slot. We good to go.
All right, bet. I'll do that. And then I did see this. Okay, they wanted me to read out this super chat. I didn't read it what was going on because
super chat.
It's a little. I wouldn't normally say I wouldn't say these things. But he said these things.
Right.
He said, "Captain, you talk like a fucking KRS-One song, from a snow roach to a Velcro head." He said, "Fuck the so-called Jews," is what he said. In his super chat, a snow roach. I'd never heard that one.
I don't know what a snow roach is, but he ain't talking about me because
he was calling himself a snow roach.
He's the snow roach.
Yeah.
At least he's a roach. But listen, let me tell you how racist he is, though. He don't want to be a black roach. He don't want to be a regular roach. He don't want to just be a regular roach. He's
still a white roach.
Nobody ever seen the snow roach. Listen, he said, I ain't no regular roach. And I bet you the snow roaches are cleaner than the regular roaches. But no, that's fine. Even the KRS-One reference, I ain't really mad at the KRS-One reference. He taught we was Israel for the time too, so that's fine with me too. But that's a funny ass super chat. That super chat funny. I'm gonna make a clip out of him saying he's a snow roach. That's a new. I never knew white people, if they want to say roaches, they won't even say they a roach. They got to be a snow roach. Hell yeah. I'm gonna say it on Cross the Line Thursday. Snow roaches. White people don't even want to be the same roach as black people. No.
Tell people where they can find you, and I'll work and see if I can get I don't know if I can get it set up in 24 hours, but I'm gonna try.
No,
and if not, maybe we can do it next week.
No, next week is cool. I'm just saying, whenever you get it set up, I'll be available.
You're down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't saying you got to do it that fast, but let's say if you said next Tuesday, I'm down for next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Whenever you have it, I'm down for it. So I'm Captain Yazariak of I.S.U.P.K, man. It's been a pleasure to be on Ralph's show, Killstream on Rumble. Make sure y'all follow him. Make sure y'all follow him on Telegram. I follow him on Telegram as well. Today was a good discussion with Thomas Peckerwood. His name, not mine. He calls himself Peckerwood. You can find me on my website is ISUPK.com. That's where you can go to find all the information for my organization, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commander General YAHANNA. He has a radio show that he does every Monday on YouTube. It's called World on Fire, right? America on Fire. It's called America on Fire. If you go on YouTube and put in America on Fire, you'll find Commander General YAHANNA's YouTube channel. That's his channel. My channel is Cross the Line Radio and Captain Yazariak Podcast. That's also on YouTube. We do a radio show every Thursday from 10 p.m. to midnight. For all the white people that's on Killstream, if y'all want to be a guest on my show and talk some shit, just hit me up. Ralph knows how to get in touch with me. You could be a guest on my show. We debate just like Ralph debates and brings different people of all races on his show. We do the exact same thing because these type of conversations are necessary. Although this conversation was sparked between two black men, the real conversation took place between me and Thomas, and I think that was the most important part. With that, Ralph, I appreciate you having me on, man. Until next time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
No
problem. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.